If I may, I'd like to ask you some questions about the golf swing, the way it's taught today. Mm-hmm. I'm curious because I tried to do what has been taught the last 20, 30 years, this more modern style of centered pivot swing where there's not as much of a lateral move with the hips. And I played very poorly. Like I said, I'd often shoot over 100. But then when I started to do things like the walkthrough, I allowed my left heel, I experimented with that coming up. And I got into Ben Hogan, Gary Player, Lee Trevino, Jack Nicklaus. And it's a different style of swinging, but you cannot tell me that there's anything better. Do you know what I mean?
I understand 100%. And I'll enlarge on that. Maybe the best swing is a man who played over 100 years ago, Bobby Jones.
Hey guys, top of the morning to you. That little bit was from my wonderful interview with Gary Player. I've got 2 full episodes up at myswingevolution.com on MSE TV, and we're talking about Bobby Jones. Now, we're going to dig deeper into that, and I'm going to be showing you my Bobby Jones analysis now from the over-the-top miracle golf swing. That'll be after we hear Mr. Player talk about Bobby Jones' amazing golf swing. So I've been enjoying going out and teaching my students this subtle difference in my teaching now with the over-the-top move. And it's absolutely fantastic. I love seeing the light bulbs go off in people's heads because, you know, it's a subtle adjustment and it makes about 5 things start happening better in the golf swing.
We're working on the over-the-top swing, and I've flushed every shot, just about every shot, with an 8-iron.
What was your natural swing pattern when you first started today and what you told me?
That I swing over the top. That I've been told I swing over the top.
And you haven't always had good contact, right?
Yeah, it's very inconsistent.
What did we change?
To take the club in a little bit more. And then just my natural swing from there.
And
flush. Flush every shot.
Is it a miracle?
It's a miracle.
Dude, I think everybody tries to swing over the top because it's natural. Okay? So we just have to make a couple adjustments to make it work properly. And right now, I think I am the only teacher that I'm aware of that teaches the over-the-top swing as the best way to hit the golf ball. That's crazy. But I'm completely sold on it. So I'm happy to share this video with you. Check out Mr. Gary Player discussing Bobby Jones' amazing OTT golf swing. And then I'm going to take you through my thoughts on Bobby Jones' golf swing that come directly from my new instructional video, the over-the-top miracle golf swing. Hit them long and hit them straight. You cannot tell me that there's anything better. Do you know what I mean?
I understand 100%. And I'll enlarge on that. Maybe the best swing is a man who played over 100 years ago, Bobby Jones. Bobby Jones' swing, when I watch him swing, impresses me a hang of a lot more than 90% of professionals that swing today. Isn't that amazing? And he swung with a walking stick, basically. And he played with a ball that went 100 yards less. Think of what he scored. Bad greens, no changing the cups, raking bunkers with your feet, spike marks on the green, hundreds. Can't cut the green short, traveling by car everywhere. These guys travel by jets. Think about these different things, man. This man, Bobby Jones, may be the best player that ever lived. And his swing, if you look at his swing, it is perfection. Absolutely perfection. Now, a lot of pros who teach won't teach that anymore. There's no such thing as a modern day swing. There's nothing that they do today that they never did 100 years ago. Okay. You want to get a book? Go and get a book called Percy Boomer's Swing. 100 years ago, he'll talk about all the things that are happening today. There's nothing new. There's nothing new. When I hear a player, one of the players the other day, who I'd love to help, he said he was working, his manager said, to my man, he's working on the modern day swing. I said, there's no such thing. There's nothing. I'm dying to hear of, I'm 80, nearly 85, I'm dying to hear of something that I've never heard in my life. Impossible.
Right.
Impossible.
Right. Watch episode 2 of Mr. Hogan featuring Gary Player on MSE TV, only available at myswingevolution.com. Now let's look at the original over-the-top genius, Bobby Jones. Now we can clearly see even from the front that Mr. Jones has an over-the-top golf swing. He has that lovely rhythm, reminiscent of Sam Snead. And Gary Player told me he thinks that Bobby Jones might have had the greatest golf swing ever. Now with his left arm isolated, we can see that there's clearly an over-the-top move. Inside, up, and out. Very often over-the-top swingers have a slight across-the-line position at the top, which allows them to reroute the club and swing down low left, as Mr. Jones demonstrates here. Beautiful clearing of the left side of the body. Inside and up, then out and down, low left. Beautiful post up on the left leg for Mr. Jones. That's what I'm working on too. Now if we take a look at this, looks like maybe an 8 or 9 iron. He takes the club inside, P2, inside and up, and then out to the ball. I believe this is a much natural motion, very similar to that of an overhand throw. Now from down the line, inside up and out. Now let's put a trace on his handle here. Now in P2 we see that he sucked the club into the inside and we can see the club head outside of his right hip. And on the way back down, he's clearly about 6 inches further out over the top.
The greatest swings from the past were over the top. Gradually over time, the most natural way to hit a golf ball was maligned, forgotten, and even shunned. The swinging of a golf club mimics a natural throwing motion, and allowing the hands to go over the top is the simplest and most effective way to play good golf. This is the over-the-top miracle swing.
Do you have trouble slicing the golf ball? How many times have you heard people tell you you're swinging over the top? That's your problem. What if I told you the natural motion of swinging over the top is actually the best way to hit the golf ball? Would you think I'm crazy? Well, I'm here today to tell you about the over-the-top miracle. The best part is it's a natural motion based on a throw.
What I worked on there was trying to get as far back as I could inside, tried to stay down through the ball.
Do you think you picked up some yardage since we've been working on this stuff?
On the driver, at least 50 to 60 yards.
It's dynamite.
It's crazy.
You don't have to be stuck with an over-the-top slice. That's why I created the new video, The Over-the-Top Miracle. Transform your game with the over-the-top miracle swing at myswingevolution.com.